Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram, bringing you your daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings, this on a Sunday. And as far as today's cricket happenings goes, I have to start off with the news that Papua New Guinea has booked the ticket to the World Cup 2020 in Australia. So they have become the first team from the T20 World Cup qualifiers that is right now happening in the United Arab Emirates. And they have booked their ticket. They have become the first country to make their first ever entry into a Cricket World Cup, that is the T20 Cricket World Cup, which is coming up in Australia in the year 2020. And congratulations to Papua New Guinea. And it's only fitting that Papua New Guinea has booked the ticket to the World Cup, considering that Papua New Guinea is a country, or it's a place which is very close to Australia, and they have booked their ticket to the T20 World Cup in Australia. And the way they did it was a phenomenal achievement. The reason I say that is because today they had a game. I'll be checking it out for you. So basically, they had a game where they were in the dumps at 92 for 6. Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. 19 for 6 against Kenya in their match, and it looked like everything was lost. And there comes the savior. He came at number 8. The number 8 batsman from Papua New Guinea came and took the game away, as he gave a score to defend to Papua New Guinea, which I'll be talking about. And finally they had the better of Kenya, as Kenya were restricted, and Papua New Guinea booked their ticket to the T20 World Cup in Australia. They'll be joining all the big names like India, England, Pakistan, Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and all the other teams in the fray. And what a moment it would be, and what a day it is for Papua New Guinea to go and book the ticket for the T20 World Cup in Australia in the year 2020. So once again, congratulations to the Papua New Guinea team. Right, as I'm talking to you, I can, as you know, I'm broadcasting here from my studios here in Toronto in Canada, and we all know that today there is a crucial game that is happening right now in front of my eyes. It's happening at the United Arab Emirates. It's the home team, United Arab Emirates, who are taking on Canada, and I can give you a live cricket update here with the Canadians right now definitely in control, I would say. Canadians are 61 for 2 after 9 overs, and they are chasing a total of 150 odd, and I'll be telling you the equation shortly as I'm keeping an eye. Right now they have their opener Dhaliwal, who has been doing a good job here for Canada in the T20 World Cup qualifiers. So Canada definitely having a chance here. Dhaliwal is doing well right now, and Canada right now, the equation on the board says 94 runs are required from 66 balls, and Canada, I think, definitely would be fancy to go and win it against UAE, but one has to wait and watch as to what really transpires in the remaining 66 balls. As this we know, it's cricket. Cricket is a game of gross uncertainties. So that is as far as, and this match is being happening in the Group B in Abu Dhabi. As I'm talking to you, Kirton has just got an edge onto the ball. The ball is just running away, and they are getting the second run here as the score stays on 63. The score moves on to 63 for 2. And the 10th over, Kirton definitely getting away with that. The ball actually falling in no man's land. Dhaliwal is looking good on 26 of 29 deliveries. Well, we'll come back to that later. So this is the live cricket update coming up from United Arab Emirates, which I'll be keeping you updated as and when anything happens. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is, as you know, the Sri Lankans are in Australia. And Sri Lankans definitely, as you know, Australia are the ones who are going to be hosting the T20 World Cup. And this is a sort of a real sort of an important game which is happening, the T20 series which is happening. And I have to say, the Australians absolutely crushed the full-strength Sri Lankan team today, and they went on to win the match by a huge margin, which happened to be a record margin for Australia in a T20 match, as they beat the Sri Lankans by 134 runs. It was all about a superlative effort coming in from David Warner, the opener, who was absolutely in the horrors against England, as you would remember, in that particular series. And here comes David Warner with all guns booming on his birthday, going on to his maiden T20 century. He scored exactly 100. Aaron Finch, the captain, making 64. Glenn Maxwell promoted in the batting order, blasting 62 of 28 deliveries, 7 fours and 3 sixes. And Australia going on to sit on a very, very big score in T20 cricket of 233 for 2. And Kasun Rajita had the ignominy, faced the ignominy, or got the ignominy of holding the record now for the most runs conceded in 4 overs in T20 cricket, as he was smashed for 75 runs by the Aussie batsman of 4 overs. So Kasun Rajita going for 75 runs of his 4 overs. It's a new record in T20 cricket. So, well, dear fans and subscribers, now let me just start off with the game between Australia and Sri Lanka, and then I will totally branch off to the Papua New Guinea's entry into the World Cup. But probably I think it would be fitting to first talk about Papua New Guinea's entry into the World Cup. And Papua New Guinea, this was the 38th match which was going on in Group A in the Men's T20 World Cup qualifier at the Dubai Cricket Ground. And Papua New Guinea were all out for 118. As I said, this is a match with Papua New Guinea batted first, and they were in all sorts of trouble. In fact, they were in the dumps at one stage where the score read 19 for 6 with all their top batsmen gone. They were reeling at 19 for 6 in the 4th over. Ringera, the pace bowlers were the ones who were doing the damage from the Kenyan pace bowlers. E.B. Ringera, 4 overs no more than 4 for 18 and 2 for 15 for Oluch, had taken all the 6 wickets. And if I'm not mistaken, he took 3 wickets in one particular over, Ringera. And the Papua New Guinea were in the dumps at 19 for 6 in the 4th over. And look at what happened after that. This was something which was truly phenomenal, because Norman Vanuva, who actually is an all-rounder, he actually comes in at number 8, and the best thing that he did for Papua New Guinea is to really bide his time at the crease. He was in no hurry. He started holding the innings. He had only the company of the tail-enders, but he went on to make a marvelous 54, which turned out to be a match-winning knock. Not only that, it put Papua New Guinea into their first ever T20 World Cup. 54 of 48 deliveries, which included 3 fours and 2 sixes. And that was the story for Papua New Guinea. They were all out for 118, but definitely 118 definitely did not look like a score but one has to really say hats off to the Papua New Guinea bowlers. What a spirit they have shown in this championship. They have shown that their batting has been good. Asad Wala, Norman Vanuva, Amini Wala, and also one has seen that the bowling has also been sharp. Norman Vanuva, as I said, is an all-rounder. He had 3 overs no more than 2 for 19. Pokana, 3.4 overs no more than 3 for 21 for Pokana. 2 for 14 for Ravu, Amini none for 11, and Wala, who is the mainstay, 4 overs no more than 3 for 7. And their fielding has also been exemplary in this tournament, no doubt about it. And the Kenyans, one would have probably thought 118 was a score which they could have definitely done. Really hats off to Papua New Guinea. They bowled out the Kenyans for just 73 runs. Karim, as you know, is the main player for Kenya, but today Karim was the highest scorer with 29 of 22 balls, 4 fours. Other than that, it was the Papua New Guinea bowlers all the way, with only two of their batsmen actually reaching double figures. One was Colin Sobuya, who is a veteran in Kenyan cricket. He was out for 10. Gandhi was not out on 14, but there was absolutely no support, and this Kenyan innings capitulated at 73. They were all out for 73, and as I said, Papua New Guinea walking into the T20 World Cup in Australia for the first time. And congratulations once again to this Papua New Guinea team, which is, Papua New Guinea is something which is close to Australia, as we all know in the map. Right, now let's get on to Australia and see what happened in the first T20 match between Australia and Sri Lanka. Now Lasith Malinga, the Sri Lankan captain, actually winning the toss and inserting the host Australians to bat first. And definitely I have to say it was an absolute run feast here at the Adelaide Oval in Australia, as the openers Aaron Finch and David Warner combined to put 122 runs for the first wicket in 10.5 overs. That was absolutely smashing stuff. Malinga definitely did his job, but Kasun Rajita, as I said, was taken to the cleaners. His 4 overs was smashed for 75 runs, and now he holds this ignominious record of having conceded the most number of runs in a T20 match by a single bowler in 4 overs. Nuwan Pradeep did his job perfectly well. He continued from where he left off against Pakistan. 4 overs, no maiden, none for 28. Sandakan, 4 overs, 1 for 41. 3 overs for 42. Hasaranga De Silva is another one who had a great time in Pakistan, but here he was absolutely shattered by the Aussie batsman. 3 overs cost him 42 runs without a wicket to show to his name. Shanaka, 1 overs, no maiden, 1 for 10. Now let's have a look at this Australian card here. The opening partnership, 122 runs added in 10.5 overs. Aaron Finch making 64 of 36 deliveries, which included 8 fours and 3 sixes. David Warner was there till the end, taking the Australian innings to 233. His contribution being an unbeaten 100, and it gave him immense joy. And David Warner celebrated in his customary style, that is to raise his bat, remove his helmet and jump with joy, and that's what he precisely did, as David Warner was not out on 100 of 56 deliveries, which included 10 fours and 4 sixes. Glenn Maxwell was promoted to the batting order. He came in at 1 drop and he smashed 62 of just 28 deliveries, which included 7 fours and 3 sixes. Turner was not out on 1, and the Aussies sat on a very high platform of 233 for 2. Now the Sri Lankan innings, chasing 234 from 20 overs, was always a daunting challenge for the Sri Lankans, and but the pressure definitely started really telling on the Sri Lankan batsmen right from the word go, as Gunatilaka, Danushka Gunatilaka and Kushal Mendis opened the batting, and it was the Aussie bowlers absolutely swarming over the Sri Lankan batsmen. Gunatilaka was out for just 11 runs of 13 deliveries with 2 boundaries. Mendis collected a duck. It was probably as Lasith Malinga said in the post-match press conference, the height of the bowlers, especially Cummins Stark and the other bowlers, definitely had a say, and Lasith Malinga said in the post-match press conference that he needed his batsmen to play the height bowlers very well. Kushal Mendis was out for duck, and the pressure really started building. Rajapaksa was bowled by Cummins for 2. Kushal Pereira was bowled by Stark for 16 of as many balls with 1-4. Oshado Fernando was bowled by Ashton Agar. Now this was the spinners, as far as the spinners were concerned, the Sri Lankans could not get their handle against the pace bowlers, and as I'm talking to you, I just see the wicket has fallen here for Canada. Canada have lost their 3rd wicket. The Dhaliwal, the mainstay batsman, has just been dismissed, as he goes for a wild slog against the pace bowler Wahid, and he succumbs there. As in the deep, he has been snapped up, and Canadians now are 82 for 3. It was a slower delivery, very well bowled by Wahid. It was a good running catch taken there by the UAE fielder, and Wahid is absolutely excited, and why not? Canada have lost their third wicket in the 12th over. Navneet Dhaliwal out for 41, caught Sultan, bowled Wahid, and Canadians are 82 for 3 in the 12th over, and there is still a long way to go for Canada against the United Arab Emirates. This is a live cricket update coming in from the United Arab Emirates, and now we are back to Australia. Dasun Shanaka was out for 17. He was a victim of the bowling of Zampa, as I said. Basically, the Sri Lankan batsman could not get a handle on the bowlers, and that really prompted a move by the Sri Lankan batsman to go try to really hit the spinners out of the attack. But it really, in the process, they definitely didn't get it all right, and they totally perished. Shanaka was out for 17, Hasanga de Silva was run out for 5, Sandakan for 6, Malinga was not out on 13, Rajita not, Pradeep 99 for 9. It was all over for the Sri Lankans. It was a huge victory, a record-breaking victory for the Aussies in T20 cricket. And as I'm talking to you, United Arab Emirates, the Canada 82 for 3, they require another 73 runs from the 48 balls, last 8 overs remaining. And Kirtan is not out on 9 currently. Hamza Tariq has taken his place. He's quite an aggressive player, and one has to see what really comes up. In the meanwhile, Mitchell Starc bowled very well. 4 overs, no made in 2 for 18. Kane Richardson 4 overs, no made in none for 21. Cummins 4 overs, 2 for 27. Adam Zampa 4 overs, no made in 3 for 14. Haston Agar 4 overs, no made in 1 for 13. So that's the man, and the Sri Lanka and Australians have won their first match of the T20 3-match series, and they have gone 1-0, and David Warner was named man of the match. So so from here we are going to New Zealand, and the reason we are going to New Zealand right now is to tell you that England 11 actually played on their tour of New Zealand, playing their first game of their tour of New Zealand, and which resulted in England actually winning the match. Jonathan Barristow was the one who scored the majority of runs with Lockie Ferguson from New Zealand. England 11 actually winning the match by 6 wickets. So let's have a look at the card and see what really happened in that warm-up match between England and New Zealand. The England 11 taking on the New Zealand 11 at Lincoln. So talking about this particular match between the England and the New Zealand 11, let's see. So New Zealand actually batted first in this particular match, and if you look at the scorecard there, Colin Munro was out for 8. It was New Zealand 11 batting fifth, making 172 for 4. Colin Munro 8. Seaford was out for 20, but it was the batting, some real enterprise shown by Anton Davisic, who made 62 of 43 deliveries, 8 fours and 1 6, and also A.K. Kitchen, A. Kitchen actually slamming an unbeaten 50 of 36 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes, getting the score to 172 for 4 of their 20 overs. The England bowling, Sam Curran was costly, 2 overs none for 15. Sajid Mahmood 4 overs no made none for 35. Jordan 3 overs 1 for 22. Brown was costly, 1 for 39. 2 for 25 for Adil Rashid. Joe Denley 2 overs none for 30. England were given a target of 173 runs to win from their 20 overs. One was really excited to see this young bloke Tom Banton, who has been absolutely blasting on all cylinders in the T20 blast in England. And Tom Banton started off in a flash. He hit a boundary and a 6, but that was all, as Lockie Ferguson, their best bowler, wrapped his pads. He was out LBW to Lockie Ferguson for 11. Barrister took it on. He was the one who took them to victory, not out of 70 or 45 deliveries, 6 fours and 4 sixes. Vince was out for 17, Denley for naught, as Billings made 28, and Sam Curran applied the finishing touches to the game with a cracking knock of an unbeaten 28 of just 15 deliveries, 1 4 and 2 sixes. Game over with England actually winning their first tour game of the Tour of New Zealand. Davisic none for 31, 3 for 32 for Lockie Ferguson, 1 for 25 for Hampton, none for 24 Verma, Coburn none for 49, and Kitchen, one of those no made and none for 13. Now let's have a look at the also have a look at what are the other matches that happened today in the T20 World Cup qualifiers. Just giving you a live cricket update. 13 overs gone. Canada are 86 for 3 in reply to the United Arab Emirates, and they require another 69 runs from another 7 overs to win the game. And there we go, that's a wicket there, absolutely gone. Wahid is an absolute fire from the United Arab Emirates today. He has taken his 3rd wicket, and what a wicket that was. Hamza Tariq was fooled into the delivery, I thought, from Wahid. It was a slower delivery, and Hamza Tariq actually banged it back into the hands of Wahid. Very well bowled Wahid, and Wahid has taken a good catch of his own bowling, and the Canadians are in absolute trouble here. They have lost their 4th wicket, and the score reached 86 for 4 in the 14th over. Hamza Tariq is walking back to the pavilion to cotton bowl Wahid, and Wahid, the United Arab Emirates bowler, is on absolute fire here. Now Canada require another 69 runs from the next 41 balls to actually go and book their ticket to the T20 World Cup. The hat-trick is coming up. I'm going to stay here, dear fans and subscribers. This bloke Wahid had taken a wicket in the last ball of the previous over, and in the first ball he has taken the wicket of Hamza Tariq, as I think it's Singh who is just walking out, and whether Singh can avert the hat-trick. And as soon as this happens, I will be off my cricket show, unfortunately. And if at all you want to catch up with me, you can catch up with me on my Twitter page, where my cricket tweets are already there, and you can also catch up with me on my website www.cricket-status.com, and you can really look into what I have in store for you. So in the meanwhile, as I'm talking to you, Wahid is bowling the hat-trick delivery. The hat-trick has been awarded. There was a loud appeal, a loud appeal from Wahid, but probably the ball was going down the leg side, and that's it. The hat-trick has been awarded. So now it's time for me to sign off on this cricket show, this on a Sunday, as the score, as I said, Canada require another 62 balls to win the match against the United Arab Emirates. And Ireland are almost, Ireland is another country who's probably, one could say, that they have booked their ticket to the T20 World Cup, but time will tell the story. Unfortunately, it's wind-up time on this cricket show, and hope to catch up with you tomorrow, hopefully. As you know, on the week, it becomes a bit difficult for me to do the cricket show, but I would love to do it if it really becomes a sort of a paid cricket show for me. Thanks for your company as always, and thanks for your support. This is your host Ram, signing this off on a Sunday. Thank you.